Welcome back to Yesteryears News. Today, we're diving into December 8th, a day that has seen historic moments in music, art, science, and international diplomacy. From the tragic loss of John Lennon in 1980 to the establishment of one of Europe's most famous art museums and the introduction of a revolutionary chemical weapon, December 8th is a fascinating date, and stick around until the end for 5 fun facts you might not know about this day. On December 8, 1980, the world lost one of its most influential musicians and peace advocates, John Lennon. A former member of the Beatles, Lennon was also a successful solo artist whose songs like Imagine inspired generations with messages of hope and peace. That evening, Lennon returned to his home at the Dakota in New York City after a recording session with his wife, Yoko Ono. Tragically, he was approached by Mark David Chapman, a fan who had earlier asked for his autograph. Chapman fired 4 shots, fatally wounding Lennon. Lennon's sudden death at the age of 40 shocked the world. Fans and fellow artists held vigils, and news of his passing dominated headlines globally. The world mourned the loss of a cultural icon whose music and activism influenced millions. To this day, Lennon's legacy endures through his music and his advocacy for peace, making December 8th a day of remembrance for fans worldwide. On December 8, 1819, the Museo del Prado, one of the world's most renowned art museums, opened its doors in Madrid, Spain. Originally known as the Royal Museum of Paintings and Sculptures, the Prado was established by King Ferdinand VII and his wife, Queen Maria Isabel de Braganza, to house and display Spain's royal art collection. Designed by the architect Juan de Villanueva, the Prado's neoclassical building provided an elegant space for showcasing the country's finest art. The Prado's collection includes masterpieces by renowned artists such as Francisco Goya, Diego Velázquez, and El Greco. Over the years, the museum has expanded its holdings to include works from other European artists, making it a treasure trove of artistic history. Today, the Prado Museum is celebrated for its extraordinary collection, which draws millions of visitors annually to marvel at its artwork. December 8th marks the anniversary of an institution that has become a symbol of cultural heritage and artistic achievement in Spain. The introduction of phosgene gas as a chemical weapon in 1915. On December 8, 1915, during World War I, phosgene gas was first used as a chemical weapon by Germany against Allied forces. Phosgene, a colorless gas with a faint odor, is highly toxic and causes severe respiratory damage when inhaled. The introduction of phosgene marked a grim milestone in warfare, as chemical weapons were used on an unprecedented scale during World War I, causing horrific injuries and fatalities. Unlike chlorine gas, which was first used earlier in the war, phosgene is less detectable and has delayed symptoms, making it a more insidious weapon. Soldiers exposed to phosgene often experience severe respiratory distress hours after exposure, leading to high mortality rates. The use of phosgene and other chemical weapons in World War I highlighted the brutal reality of modern warfare and ultimately led to international efforts to ban chemical warfare. Today, December 8th serves as a reminder of the devastating impact of chemical weapons and the importance of international conventions against their use. 5 fun facts for December 8th. In 1980, hours before John Lennon's death, he gave what would be his final interview to San Francisco DJ Dave Sholin, capturing his thoughts on peace, creativity, and his hopes for the future. In 1953, US President Dwight D. Eisenhower delivered his famous Atoms for Peace speech to the United Nations, advocating for the peaceful use of nuclear energy in addressing global issues. In 1965, Pope Paul VI closed the Second Vatican Council, a landmark event that brought significant reforms to the Catholic Church, emphasizing modernization and engagement with the contemporary world. In 1927, the first broadcast of the Grand Ole Opry, a radio show dedicated to country music, aired on December 8th. The show became a cornerstone of American country music culture, and in 1991, the leaders of Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus met on December 8th to sign the Belavesia Accords, effectively dissolving the Soviet Union and ending the Cold War. Thank you for watching Yesteryears News as we explored December 8th. From John Lennon's final day to the opening of the Prado Museum and the dark history of chemical warfare, today's date has seen moments that have changed our world. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for daily historical content. See you tomorrow for more fascinating stories.